Welcome back to Mackland Cadets. Today we're back on the 582. This project's coming together. Haven't decided if I'm going to run white panels or red panels on the side there. But this 582 here is not going to have the standard transmission. It's going to have the hydrostat and it's going to have hydraulic lift. The motor's not in it yet, but in a few seconds I will show you what motor we're going to be putting in it and we'll get it pulled. Been pulling a few parts. I have a Cessna pump right here for a loader. Found this on the shelf the other day because we run two salvage yards. We have a Cub Cadet salvage yard and we have a big tractor salvage yard. But years ago I bought this and I believe that Pilot is like 3 7/8. It's quite a heavy duty sprocket. If somebody knows what this fits, please believe in the comments because I'm kind of curious, something that would take a 3 7/8 shaft. So we're back on this one. I've changed the emblem. I'm going to have headlight delete on this project. I painted my emblem black, put it down in the left lower corner, and I'm not sure which way I'm going to go, like I said previously, with white panels or red panels. But everything is just about ready for the power plant. Now let's show you what we're going to put in it. I'm going to put this 1650 motor in it. I'm going to have a 16 horsepower single cylinder in this tractor, in that tractor I should say. So let's get this pulled. I'm going to put the camera in the stand and I'll show you how easy it is to pull a motor in a 1650. Now I do plan in this project, I'm going to run the regular dry shaft in it, and that's out of a Cyclops. And actually it's out of, if you watch some of my previous videos going through the yard, I have a Cyclops in the yard, if you remember, that they put that type of hood, the steel hood on it instead of the plastic ones. So all the parts interchanged. This is a Cyclops transmission in this machine. They fit right in there, regardless of what anybody tells you. I left the lights for the tail lights all wound up there in the back. I'll get them all secure when the fenders are on there. But I didn't want to butcher the harness at all. The harness I already put in this machine is out of 1,000 Cub Cadet. So this is the same as a 1650. So this should be a fairly easy install. If you ever had a 16 horsepower Kohler, you know what a power plant they are. So let's put this in the stand and let's start getting it pulled. The first thing you're going to do is unplug the headlights. Then we're going to remove the hood. Oops, I went the wrong way. I'm going to remove it right at the hinge. Takes a 1/2 inch. I'm going to set it right off to the side. Then it takes, I believe, a 9/16. We'll get right in there with a 9/16. We're going to take this front nose off. Should thread right in. Now the battery's already disconnected, so the next thing I am going to do before I go to the other side is I'm going to unhook the starter. And I think while I'm in there, I'm going to unhook the electric clutch. Actually, I'll wait until the front nose is off and then I'll have more room. It takes a 9/16 to take the front hood support off. You don't have to hold a nut on the bottom side. They're threaded right into the main frame on a large frame. Now, a lot of people have been asking me, now you're taking this motor out of this 1650, what are you going to do with the chassis? I'm going to make a couple more videos on it. I'm probably going to put a 12 horse in it, turn it into a 1250 with hydraulics on it. And my main goal is to switch it so the handle for the hydraulic isn't on the right side, it'll be on the left side. And with the motor out of this machine, it'll make it a lot easier to show you how to do that. Don't fear taking a motor out, no big deal. Now some of these nose cones on these quiet lines are cast iron. This one right here is cast iron. A lot of them are aluminum. I believe the last of the 1650s had this piece here was aluminum. Now I'm going to reach right in there and unhook the electric clutch. And it's unhooked. Next, I'm going to slide this back just a little bit here. We're going to take off the fuel tank. Takes a 1/2 inch. You might as well open these Cub Cadets right up when you're going to take the motor out. It just makes everything a lot easier. It's so easy to put them back together. These were so well thought out. And this 3/8 right there, yes. We got 3/8 socket. Might have to go all the way with this one here. Oh, it's 1/2 inch. Now, I won't be able to take off this center firewall yet because all the cables for the choke control and everything are still hooked up. And I will move the camera over to this side here when I do that. That's one of the toughest jobs of dismantling these machines, is the disconnecting the choke and the throttle. In my opinion, with that 582 project, this is the best solution. I'm just not a Stratton Briggs lover. I know they're called Briggs and Stratton, but I call them Stratton and Briggs. I usually like to keep things all original, but with this project here, I just thought this was the best solution. Everything's tight in this area here. Actually, I'm just going to need to take, because you're going to put a new gas line on it anyways. Just going to take the snips. I'm going to snip that away. It'll just be a lot handier. Just use these. Just be patient with everything you do. Okay. Now we're going to loosen up the firewall on this side here. It takes a 7/16. Right there is your main ground. For your motor. Okay, before we switch sides here, this is your starter. We're going to unhook the motor. We're going to run this through here. And we'll want to run that wire through first. Actually, we'll run the smaller wires, then we'll run the big one through. Yeah, like I was saying before, I just don't think the Briggs & Stratton motor is the better motor. I thought about putting a Vanguard on it, on that 582, but it's one thing nice about owning your own junkyard. You know what's good and bad, and this motor here was in terrific shape, so I knew this was the way to go. So I'm going to switch sides here. And we'll start working on this here. Takes 7/16 like I was saying before. We'll loosen up this screw here. That's going to take a choke, and we'll be able to unhook the choke. Like I was saying, I think this was the toughest thing and I went a little bit too far, but I'll put that back on. On these large frames, this was the toughest portion right here, hooking up a motor. Is the choke and the throttle. There's a choke unhooked. Now we're going to bring that throttle that way, push the choke in a little bit. Right there's your throttle unhooked. And try to tuck them in there. Watch your eyes when you're doing that. You only get one set of eyes. So we're all unhooked there, gas, levers, everything. Let's unhook the main shaft here. Takes a 9/16. Yeah, having a 1250 with hydraulics I think will be really neat. And that's one reason on that 582 I put a hydrostat in it. because I want hydraulic lift. I probably should buy some decals that say 582 special on them, because it's definitely going to be different and special. We'll get the drive shaft broke away a little bit, so when we go to pull it, it makes it a lot easier. Now we're down to 4 bolts, I believe. I think everything will be on hook. Your 4 bolts, 2 on this side, 2 on the other. Take a 9/16 and we'll get it unhooked. A little bit tougher on these to get these dismantled compared to a spread frame. Now you want to save these bolts with all of the absorbers and everything. And right there they are. There's the engine mounts right there. In my opinion, these are absolutely the best ones. This is the toughest one to get out right here. You have your steering box in the way and everything. Now when I put it in this 582, I actually took the motor mount out of a 1282. And before we end the video, I'll show you why it'll be a lot easier to put it in a large frame compared to, or excuse me, in a spread frame than it is to put it in a large frame. They did one thing different on them and it made a lot of difference on the mounting. Takes a 9/16 to do this. I'll bring this back over again. I'll go back to this back bolt. This one here is not as bad, but as the other side, because the steering box isn't in the way, but it still isn't the easiest job. Can't imagine lining them up, but they must have had a simple way at the factory to do it. Get a block of wood. And we should be about ready to pop it right out. I believe I'm going to have to unhook the dry shaft. It's so tight in there. It should take a 5/16, but these so far are finger loose. Now that one isn't. That's one thing nice about the spread frames. Them motors will pull right out. Sometimes you can pull them out of these, sometimes you can't. I'm just going to set it right there. Now we should be able to flip the motor out this way, should be all fine. And there we go. So there's the motor out. That dry shaft should go right in them holes, should be the same measurement. This piece obviously isn't any good. If you're ever putting these together with a ragdoll type, you have to have that bushing in there, or your shaft will go just like this. So this should bolt right up to it, should be ready, should be a quick install. And I'll show you with the frame with it out. Here's the hydraulic cylinder. What I'm planning on doing is taking this lever, putting it on the left side, because everyone complained because their shifter and the hydraulic lever was on the same side. So that's a change I'm planning on showing you how to do. But before we end this video, I'll show you inside this 582 how much simpler it is. These pieces here are going to bolt on the bottom of that K-Series motor, that 16 horse, and then they'll mount right down on, and they'll go right through there with a bolt. So it'll be a quick install, should bolt up right in the back. All the wiring should be ready and should be in good shape. Thank you very much for tuning in to Mackland Cadet, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks again for tuning in to Mackland Cadets. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video.